Hey, yo, you ready? Let's do it.
Welcome back, beautiful ladies and handsome gentlemen.
We are back.
We are so back.
Lawn Chair Talk is officially back. We are here to stay. It's been a while. However, we are here for good now. We hope. Me and Garrett are finally together once again here at Doane University playing baseball in beautiful Crete, Nebraska.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. So it's been a long while, so we're going to just begin this episode with just detailing the folks at home what has been going on with our lives and where we've been at and the journeys we've gone on since Cameron University. So, Garrett, why don't you start us off?
So where we last left off, I believe it was week 3 in 2024 season for the Aggies. What the viewers weren't caught up on was our performance in that year, which, if there is any word to describe that, it would be right here. We ended up losing 12 straight games to start the year, and we ended up salvaging, I believe, 17 W's in the win column, and so I think we went like 17 and 30 something. Pretty bad. Typical year, though, at Cameron, I will say. It's pretty much a standard down there in Lawton, but after that, me and Nick decided to part our own ways, try to transfer out somewhere different. And so I ended up going to Henderson State University in Arkadelphia, Arkansas, home of the Reddies.
Reddies.
I was very excited for that. I went about 15 hours away from our home in Colorado to go to school there, and had a lot of ups, had a lot of downs. Had a really good fall, stayed healthy, got to spring, and it was pretty much roller coaster. And then found myself on the wrong side of the depth chart, and I think my last appearance was about February 16th, something like that. And we ended up making it to a regional and then got knocked out. But, did not contribute much. And it was not super amazing, but somewhere towards the end of the season, I was talking to Nick about what next year was going to look like for me, and he got me in touch with the coaches here at Doane University, and here we are, baby, back and better than ever. Rekindled the fire down here in Nebraska, so excited to see what the future holds.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for me, so after the season that Garrett mentioned, obviously some ups and downs to say, but we weren't familiar with the win column to say. So we both felt like it was definitely in our best interest to look elsewhere, especially trying to go to a program with a more winning standard. Nothing against Cameron. It was a great home for us, for Garrett for 2 years, for myself for 1. A lot of great memories there, a lot of great people there. And for me, transferring, I wanted to go to a program that I felt comfortable with the coaches, and then also kind of a winning tradition. So that's where I found myself here at Doane, which I never thought I would be in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska. However, I'm very happy to be here. It's been quite the journey. Last year, we had a solid season, I would say. Wasn't our best. We had an early exit in the conference tournament, which was a little disappointing for us. Thinking that we would definitely make a run at it and hopefully make a regional. However, we weren't able to, but we did get 30-plus wins on the year. That was something really amazing to see, especially for me. And I felt like I was a factor to that winning and to that team, which felt good. And so we brought in a lot of great pieces, including Garrett and some others as well, to hopefully kind of round out this team and hopefully give us a shot at going to Lewiston this year. That'd be very cool. So if you guys didn't know, Doane is a NAIA located in Crete, Nebraska. NAIA is outside of the NCAA. Still very competitive baseball. the top teams in it certainly can compete with a lot of really, solid D1s or D2s for sure. And I think we definitely have a talented team. It's just all going to depend on what we can really do with it. I definitely think that this coaching staff is going to be good enough to lead us there, and also the core group here and the pieces we added in are definitely going to give us a chance at making a good run at it.
Yeah, shout out to Coach Engel, by the way, making our return on the podcast. He's been itching for quite some time, trying to get us back on the high horse, and here we are. So, yeah, I mean, going back to what Nick says, I think that being around college baseball for so long and playing with guys at all different types of levels, whether it's junior college, D1, D2, D3, NAI, I mean, when you're at the best program, it's pretty much level across the board. I mean, the talent's there. So I think that that's something that I had to grow into in my career because I had a negative kind of connotation or negative attitude towards the lower levels. I always thought it was a structured thing where it's like D1, D2, D3 or whatever, and then JUCO and NAI, but it's not even close to that way.
Sorry.
Can we edit that out?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely interesting to see when you get across all those levels and you go to summer ball and you play with people across the country that all play baseball at different levels, and you see the dedication that it takes to be a good baseball player. It's, you kind of find that group of people that you kind of rock with and people that can build you up to being the best player that you can be. And I think that my advice for any younger generation player would be to just find somewhere that you can play.
Yeah,
I think that's something that I got blessed with, Nick got blessed with. Early in our careers, we were on the field, playing, making a difference. Obviously, we were losing games, being part of a lot of bad seasons, but like that definitely helped develop us in college. Now here we are as 22-year-old seniors.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy to think that we're seniors now, and this is kind of the last ride for us. But it's been, I mean, obviously the biggest piece of advice is definitely getting on the field, especially for a lot of younger guys, freshmen especially. If you can find a home that allows you to play, whether it's, D1, D2, D3, NAI, JUCO, I mean, one of the biggest things that I've learned is getting on the field, getting that experience, learning, because it's such a different game no matter what level you play at compared to high school, and just the atmosphere of, the environment with, coaches, all of that, it plays a different role than when you were in high school. It becomes more of a business, and you have to treat it like that. And so when it becomes your job and when you realize that, it elevates your game not only, but you either make or break kind of. So it can be harder for guys, and it was hard for me during the beginning of my journey of realizing that and learning mentally how I can become a lot stronger mentally to be able to, play the same game that, I've been doing my entire life. So it's definitely interesting, though, to look at, with both our journeys and stuff, and including, not only college, but including summer ball and just the type of people that you see everywhere, because it's so interesting to me. We've played with guys in summer ball at Cameron together, myself at Navarro, and then also playing here at Doane. You see so many different people and different stories of how they got to where they're at. You know what I mean? You see all kinds of big-time recruits in high school, and, they end up, something happens where, they end up to where they're at, and it's just not everyone's. There's no set journey out there. There's no set road out there in front of you, and finding what works best for you and where you feel most comfortable to become the best athlete you can be, on the field, off the field, that's where you're going to grow the most and, make the most out of it and out of your journey.
Yeah, I think totally touching on what you said about the journey is like, if you were to ask me or Nick, if when we were 16, 17, what our envisionment of what our baseball futures looked like and where they're at now, I mean, they're just not even close. Right. And touching off of what you said about the business side of things, it is true. I mean, college baseball is a business, and at the end of the day, your head coach is there making not much money at all. They're doing it for the love of the game for the most part. But at the same time, they have to please the people that are employing them. So it's about building relationships. But at the end of the day, if you're not the best guy for the job, you're not going to see the field.
Right.
And so I think that understanding that early is going to give you a step above most people that you're playing with.
Mm-hmm.
And just to elaborate on kind of being a big name guy or whatever, I mean, we've seen a lot of guys that we played with, played against, that went to Power 5 schools. And, I mean, not just in Colorado, just like, the top-ranked guys in the country. I mean, we played with dudes that – or not played with, but played against dudes that were first-round picks. And, now everybody's calling them the biggest busts in MLB history. I mean, and then you have guys that start at junior colleges, and then next thing you know, they're at Power 5 schools winning national titles. I mean, it's crazy how fast your life can change in baseball, how quick you can go from being a middle-of-the-road player to one of the best players in the country. Yeah. And so I think having that consistent, persistent mentality and work ethic in your development, physically, nutrition-wise, weight room-wise, moving better as an athlete is all key in order to maximize your full potential and your full development.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think overall, I mean, obviously, especially with looking at different levels and everything, you just see so many guys, and I know I touched on this before, but you just see so many guys in different journeys, but also just like learning new things. And especially when you get to college, you have to be able to treat your body a lot better than you were before. You really don't have a whole lot of free time on your hands. And you really got to learn that from the beginning of how to prioritize all this, busy schedule, school, sports, whatever it is. It's something to learn to be able to take care of your body the best way you can to be able to get the most out of it. Because at the end of the day, yes, it is a business. And even going furthermore, I kind of wanted to touch in a little bit more on the transfer portal, especially for us. The transfer portal has been something that's a huge debate and something we'll probably get into. But transfer portal for us has definitely been a blessing to be able to find, a home for us. And, whether it's our last year and we finally found our home, so be it. At least we found it, right? But for so many kids, you have to learn with the portal, it's not just something that you use just to, for money necessarily. It's got to be something that you're using it for a productive reason that gets you to be where you feel you can most benefit, not only on the field but off the field, right? Because I think so many guys struggle with mentally with, just battling with, all kinds of things off the field that carries onto the field, right? Because, I think we talked about this a lot last year when Garrett wasn't playing as much as, he was before. That's really hard for a guy who came from a program where he was, pitching every single weekend, right? And so, and especially for me too, my freshman year, I didn't pitch a whole lot, and it was hard mentally because I wasn't, a guy on the team as, before in high school where I was kind of when I was able to play, I was more of a guy that, was able to make an impact every single time I stepped on the field. And for the first time, boom, you're faced with adversity, and you have to kind of decide for yourself, well, is this right for me? Is this what I really want to do? So it's kind of interesting just looking at everything with college and college athletics and how it's just changed so much since we were in high school, since we were kids, just how it's just developed so much, and we've just seen and been involved with it now to really experience, the change itself.
Yeah, I mean, exactly what you said. College sports are continually evolving and becoming more and more of a business. And I know we keep touching on business, but what we mean by business is not just that coaches have to, not be having personal relationships with you and just viewing you as an object, just a piece on the chessboard necessarily, but the way that the business has evolved is like now where it used to be coaches are developing guys, and I'm not saying that that's not a thing anymore, but the more higher level teams that you go to, the more those coaches are understanding that it's a lot easier to win now if you make the right moves in the offseason. So it's almost kind of like free agency in professional sports is like you can make that change quick if you have the resources and you can make those connections and get those players, I mean, it can change a lot. But like we were saying earlier, I mean, obviously, my first time I was in the portal, it was more, I was just looking to win. Like, I was so tired of losing that I entered the portal to win. And I went to a winning team, and that's all I cared about, and I didn't look at any of the other aspects of the school, right? So, like, I had an awesome fall, played really well, was going to be a guy for us. And then, you know, I didn't really think about the small town, not having anybody close to me, not being able to relate with a lot of the players, you know, not having a cool environment to be around, not a very homey school necessarily. And so then when you get punched in the face in the spring and you realize that now it's like baseball is not even really a factor at this point. It's like you're not even on the bus traveling to away series, and now you're stuck in a 500 square foot apartment with a broken oven, and you're like hanging out there with nobody that's even near you in a town of 5,000 people where there's literally nothing to do. It's definitely a culture shock. And so I think that touching back on that for young kids, when you get those opportunities and offers to play in college, you have to sort of take a step back and look at the big picture. And it's not just the baseball, because at the end of the day, I mean, your baseball career could be taken like that. I mean, you could blow out and now you're 14 to 16 months in rehab and you may never play the game again. I mean, that's just the reality. I mean, obviously technology is evolving now, but Nick's a perfect example. I mean, he's had 2 of them. Luckily, they weren't in college, I guess. I mean, you could give or take on which was the better timing for all that stuff to take place. But I'm just saying, like, there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to come back from an injury. So understanding that college is so much bigger than just baseball, it's more about the guys that you meet and the community that you build. That's one thing that I think I've noticed so much about Doan right away, is it's so much more of a family and everybody's playing for one another. And it's, you know, you're going to have selfish guys on any team that you go play for, but being able to minimize the selfishness and get more of a team first perspective, a we over me sort of perspective and central focus, that's going to last you way more than any physical baseball thing will. Oh, yeah. And we even talk about it. I mean, we have friends from past schools that you still talk to this day, and you never know when you're going to run into them, and you never know when you're going to need them for something. So figuring out that side of life is pretty important.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the connections that you build from playing college baseball, no matter where you're at, you know, you take on for the rest of your life. Me and Garrett being together, and I mean, we've known each other for a long time, obviously, but even having that connection previous to college, but also during college, you know, it allows you to be able to kind of see different perspectives, but also get help from other guys. Like if Garrett wasn't satisfied where he was at, you know, previously being at Henderson State, and he was able to, you know, talk to me and find out, well, hey, your school, you seem to like it. Do you think it's a good fit for me? And that's huge to be able to having those connections and being able to, you know, once again, find your home. And to touch on, you know, obviously you never really know when your career ends. And most of the time, especially when you enter into college athletics, it's not your choice to end your career most of the time. I would say, I mean, 90% of the time, it's not your choice. It's either by injury or at the end of the day, you're not good enough to make it to professional. And, you know, as long as we all love to be playing the game that we grew up playing and loved for the rest of our lives, at some point it ends. So finding, you know, a place that allows you to not only grow on the field, but to grow off the field, that's huge. And that's something that I think for myself being here, and also, I mean, Garrett just got here, but I think he's finding that out for himself as well. You know, this team and this environment just at the school is such a family feel, especially, you know, looking at, you know, relationships on the team, but also with your coaches, having that to fall back on to where you know that your coaches and any single one of your teammates would do anything for you. That's huge. And it not only makes the mental side of the game so much easier, but it just elevates your play to be able to be more comfortable and be more relaxed, to be able to say, you know what, yes, there is pressure that I need to win and perform at a high level, but you know what, I got dudes behind me that are going to be willing to not only put in the work, but also, make me want to, put in that work as well, because it's a grind, truly. I mean, throughout college, I mean, we've experienced that. It's truly a grind, especially when you're in small towns or smaller programs. It's a grind to be able to try to get to the top. So those weight room grinds, everything, outside of the game itself, practice, all that, like, it's not easy. And being able to do it with guys that, you're comfortable with, that you love, and it's a family, that just makes it way easier to be able to get through all that kind of hard stuff, to make the game itself just like, we've been doing this, we've been practicing this is easy. We just now got to do it. So,
Yeah, I think, like we were talking about earlier, this podcast, we're going to get into different segments. We're trying to get on here. We're talking about it. We're going to shoot for every Thursday and every Monday, and we're going to be talking about a wide variety of things, but one of the things that we're going to touch on is just the different niches that come with college baseball and college athletics in a whole. Everything that goes into it, from practices, traveling, summer ball, we're going to get into all that stuff. So all this is just a brief overview of kind of where our journeys have led us here, and we're going to start to get more in depth as we start to do more of these episodes. But we're also going to be able to touch on things like college football, college sports, what's going on in the NFL, what's going on in the world. I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens every day.
Absolutely.
So keeping you guys entertained, we're going to throw some, fun twist on most things. We're going to show some segments that we've got planned up. We're going to probably have some guests on here, try to get a lot of those things. So, I mean, just stay tuned, because it's going to be a big year, and we're going to be giving you guys the full in scoop of what's going on here, trying to give you guys an insight of this NAI program, what's going on the real inside of this machine, what makes different guys tick, and I'm excited to see what we can do with this thing.
Yeah, I'm excited for this team. I'm excited to see what we can do individually for us, and then obviously to see what we can do in the future. But this podcast is cool for us to do, and it's something that we've wanted to do for a long time and wanted to stay consistent with. And obviously, before, our schedules are kind of tough to line up, especially when we were at different schools. But now that we're at the same school, and, hopefully we can line up our schedules, and we're going to commit to it and, be able to do this. And not only just keep it to where it's, I don't want to say informative, but like something to, just kind of, talk and just kind of get different perspectives on college athletes and their experience. I think it's obviously cool to have on guests and just to kind of hear their story, because, especially at a smaller program, everyone's got such a unique story that's just cool to share. And it's not always about, you see a lot of like big name players and stuff that are featured in podcasts, and obviously that'd be cool for us to do. But I think it's also cool to kind of see those guys that you have no idea who they are, and get to hear them out and hear their experience, because some of these experiences are pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So I think it will be cool to continue this and to keep on sharing you guys hopefully some great content. I mean, it will be.
Yeah, it's gonna be
awesome.
It's gonna be rad.
So we're gonna continue with that. What else we got?
Just exactly going off what you said. The whole reason we started this is because we literally have conversations that we're just like, why is there not a microphone in front of us right now? So a lot of it's going to be pretty laid back, talking about whatever, and kind of shooting the shit and just seeing what comes of that. Because most of the time, the real juicy stuff from conversations just kind of evolve. Yeah. So it should be good. There's going to be plenty of content, plenty of things to talk about. So like we said, stay tuned. Yeah. Maybe do a giveaway here soon. I don't know. Stay tuned to the Instagram.
Yeah, we'll see.
Instagram, YouTube. We're going to be on both of them. Mm-hmm. Hopefully posting to those quite often. And yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's freaking awesome. Rock. Also, we got these soundboards. So shout out to Nick's mom for the soundboards. Yeah. We're going to be
messing around with those once
funny sounds. So
we're going to be kind of learning a lot with kind of the technology that we got.
Technology.
We're still a little broke, so it might not be the best quality, but we're going to try to keep it as interesting as possible.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited. I think this is going to be awesome to do. It's going to be really cool to just us two doing it, and then having guests on, throwing in some drafts as we did in the past. We got all kinds of stuff planned out, so it's going to be exciting to watch. We'll see what y'all think. let us know if you guys got any suggestions or anything that we could, throw in. We're always looking for some new stuff to spice up the content.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. Well, I think that's all for episode.
I think that's a wrap.
Episode 1 of season 2. We'll just go ahead and call it season 2.
we'll call it season 2, episode 1.
new scenery, new vibe.
Yeah.
But
we're starting a new journey. We're here. Season 2, episode 1. That concludes it. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Look at the social media.
Yes.
Stay updated on when we're releasing stuff. But
Yes.
yeah, let's get it.
Let's do it. Lawn Chair Talk.
Out.